Yeah.
Good morning, good morning. I'm so excited. It is the Todd and Erin morning stream.
Hi.
It's Monday.
How are you?
Now, as we're talking, it's in the morning on Monday, and the snow is coming down like crazy. But it's like I've always loved how you can never underestimate, I guess, the stupidity of people, at least according to a couple of the morning
Please,
stories we
Erin,
talked
tell
to.
me more.
I'm sorry, but
Wait,
anytime
let me
you...
just say, this is Erin's chance to vent, and better that she shared it with you than just me the entire time like it was when we were driving. It took us 40 minutes.
Okay, no, but you're listening to the radio, which is antiquated, but you're listening to the radio and they go, if you don't have to leave the house today, don't. Just stay home.
For
It's
President's Day.
what, really? And then they're like, make sure you slow down. Go, really? Because we're all going 20 miles an hour on I-15 because they haven't had a chance to plow it. I think I'm going to be the one to speed. Sure. I mean, it's like, I have never thought underestimating people who paid attention to us was a good thing. And it's like, why would I assume you were so stupid I would actually have to tell you something like that? And more importantly, at what point do you go, stay home? Okay, it's not the apocalypse. Nobody set off a nuclear bomb. It's a snow shower. We have them here in Utah all the time. Okay, let's just go to the morning mountain cam and I won't be so irritable. I'm sorry. Let's just do that. We'll go to the morning mountain cam and you can see, oh my God, you guys, there's snow. Stay home. Don't go out if you don't have to. Okay, yeah. Highs today are going to be somewhere in the lower 40s. There is more snow. Morning mountain cam brought to you by Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and video. Go to brioaudiovisual.com. Now we're all better.
Hey, Steve, do you want, Richard, do you want anything at Starbucks? Erin's going to be going for a while. Daisy? Right? You want a happy Cheeto?
I'm just going to emotionally cleanse myself now while my husband continues to act out.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to hear something awesome?
No, I'm going to talk for a second.
All right.
You shush. Go make me a sandwich. I'm kidding.
It's like you don't want to live anymore.
7:02 in the morning, President's Day. You're going to watch this later on demand, but here's the deal. It's feast or famine. There's been no snow. The weathermen right now are rubbing their inner thighs because this is finally a snow situation. Now,
We have a snow situation.
It is 7:03 morning on President's Day, and the weathermen have been up all night. Who knows what they've been doing, but they're excited. And so they are basically saying that we are going to get 6 to 8 inches in the valley. Benches are going to get more, as usual, and everyone's going to be dead because they've been saving up all that anxiety for today's snowstorm. Whew. Did you know that in the Olympics, someone has been charged with doping?
I'm not even remotely surprised, like one of the downhillers. No, it actually would probably be like luge or maybe one of the ice skater, because they're the ones, speed skaters, they're the ones who need the most energy, right?
Curling.
You just stand there. What do you mean?
You don't just stand there, hon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you nurture a broom. No, are you dead serious?
I'm not sure
A curler.
what team it is, but
It was the Russians.
It's always the Russians, isn't it? So let me show you. May I demonstrate? Curling. And I'm the guy with the stone. That's what they call it. Okay. So I am crouched down on the ice. I have the stone right here. And there's a handle, right? Okay, here it is. Here's the move. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And then
A smooth follow through.
release.
Beautiful. It was a beautiful one.
Glad I'm pumping the roids on that one. Seriously.
Really?
That's
That's where you, and the thing is that if it's proved, and that means that Russia doesn't walk in the final final ceremony.
Unless you're the broom guy. If you're the broom guy, you're doing this all the way down, which makes it go faster, by the way, if you didn't know that. That could steroids. So
Curling.
Anyway, it's curling. Who would have thought?
That, it's almost like you just want to give up if that's what you get caught for.
It's like doping to
It's
nap.
like you're begging. It's like you're begging for it,
It's
really.
like power napping. You need roids. I don't know why.
Alrighty, would you like to show them what you did with me yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Your innocent wife.
So let's say hi to everybody again. Let me hear your voice.
Daisy, I love you very much. Thank you, by the way, for doing Thursday and Friday show with my husband. I love you.
Me too.
All right.
So yeah,
So
I
the point
ended
is
up with
that-
pneumonia
the point
and
is
I
that-
was home and.
To avoid being sick, and a lot of people, I avoided it for a long time. But then, anyway, I wanted to save you. This is what you need to do. This is instructional. take notes if you want. Go ahead. How you feeling?
Fine.
Liar. She's sick.
Better.
Liar. She's sick. This is what people are going to tell you every time you say, Erin, how you feeling?
I'm better.
What'd you do all last night?
Cough uncontrollably.
Yeah. How was that?
It was nighttime.
Does that make you feel better? No. You need defense. And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. You ready? Okay. Erin is the diseased person. What she is. Diseased people will sometimes in public actually try to touch you. And when they do this, you need to be prepared. That's why I'm here. Thanks for asking. All right, first of all, let's go for the hugger, okay? The person who's actually going to try to hug you even though they're sick. Erin, you stand over here like that. You approach me with your arms out like you're going to hug me.
Hi,
nice job. Oh, wait. See that? Then, spray your hands. Easy, right? Okay. Let's try it again with the big hug that you're coming in. You know, the angle huggers like this. They're coming in. Go ahead.
Hi,
Good. High five. Nice job. Good job. Oh, and spray your hands. See how that works? All right. I am so far safe.
Instead of using the glass cleaner, why don't you at least use the hand sanitizer?
Because it doesn't spray and it doesn't have ammonia in it.
All
right. So now the person comes over, puts the hands around you and going to hug you and say hi. Go ahead and do it.
Hi,
nice.
How are you?
Twist, come around, and then take the elbow and then get it up like that. All right, and then push away. Spray the hands. A lot of you might think this is a little bit too drastic. Let me show you drastic, shall I? Okay, so you are over here.
You to hurt more.
You are going to approach me. All right, so slow motion, approaching me like you're going to hug me. Go.
Oh, my.
Don't think so, lady. Turn around and go. Spray the hands. All right, one more. Let's say
I really don't want to do anymore.
Let's say you don't have a plastic bag, okay? This is the ultimate.
You may not have a wife very soon either.
You got to be prepared. You might need to do this. All right? This is the most close contact you're going to come with a sick person. Slow motion, one more time. This way you can review this, okay? Slow motion, coming and hugging.
Oh, honey.
Stop right there, okay? Now bring her around, find an opening, and push her out of the room. Just like that. And, of course, followed up by spraying the hands. You're welcome. See how it works? Simple. And yes, the Windex did come from my big fat Greek wedding. Because it's true. It's true. But you're feeling better now. Like right now, I'm only sleeping with 4 pillows between us. Building the mountain of pillows.
He made me sleep on the couch for the first 3 nights. Like the dog.
That's not true.
Me and the dog were on the couch
It's
together.
not true. The dog doesn't sleep on the couch. He sleeps next to the bed. Could have been worse.
Okay, I've got good news. This is really cool.
Oh, this is way cool.
If you're a massive nerd like I am, then you were waiting for Black Panther to show, and we're like, this is really great. Okay, this is good. And I know a whole bunch of people who really wanted to go opening weekend just on principle to make sure that it was awesome. 5th highest box office opening ever. They think it's going to make $214 million over the 4-day holiday weekend, which is absolutely huge. As a matter of fact, this is the 2nd biggest opening for Marvel. The only thing that's ever been bigger is the Avengers, and it even edged out Avengers Age of Ultron. So the reason why this is cool in the comic book world is like DC Comics had Wonder Woman, and that was a gigantic, freaking huge opening. Same thing now for Black Panther. And the good thing about this is it's telling filmmakers that minorities and women are a really powerful draw, and that you can have a minority or a female lead, and you will still make a boatload of money, and that maybe the other 75% of the population will be recognized. It's just a thought. But no, but it was really cool, so it was very exciting. It got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes for audience satisfaction.
You go what?
95%.
Nice.
So, I mean, just huge. But that's really exciting. I'm really happy for them. That's a big deal.
The only parallel I can come up with, that's movies in radio, were when I started radio in the our bosses said that women don't want to hear women on the radio. And that went on for like 15 years.
I got a lot of that.
Erin proved them wrong. But I thought that was funny. A grown adult guy said, had been in the business forever, just said women don't like to hear women on the radio. They just don't.
Female-oriented station, so that was
Right,
good.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching Congress, and they have 8 men on a panel that talks about women's health, which is awesome.
I love you. Okay, now you're back in my good graces. But anyway, congratulations, Marvel. Congratulations, Black Panther. All of you, that's amazing.
Good job. All right.
Such a good opening.
Mitt Romney, he should be out there directing traffic today in the snow. If you're watching, it's 7:11 in the morning on President's Day. It's snowing like crazy outside. Mitt Romney jumped out during the Olympics and conducted traffic and did great things.
It was pretty awesome, yeah.
And that's what basically he's going to run on. That one event.
Well, it's interesting. But no, he had officially managed to do a big splash on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And wisely, and as he should have pulled it back and wanted to
Postponed his announcement because of the shooting.
The shooting. Wanted to make sure that he could do it at a time when everyone was calmer and it wasn't so heartbreaking.
Right.
He's hitting every single county right now. He says he can work with Donald Trump.
What do you mean? He's touring?
He's touring every county in the state. Yeah.
But today on President's Day at 7:11 because it's snowing like a big dog outside.
Mm-hmm. He says he wants to secure the border, but with an e-verify system, penalize companies that hire people here illegally. Jenny Wilson is the Democratic opponent, who I have massive respect for. Jenny, she has been on the Salt Lake City Council. Her father was Ted Wilson, the one of the most beloved mayors of Salt Lake City. Right. Incredibly smart woman, and she said he's a great guy.
Right.
Know him well, she said, but I don't have to keep any binders or folders to remember what county I'm in, and I've lived here forever, and I worked with everybody, which is true.
You're saying because he's not familiar with the state so much.
I love Mitt too. You know that. When we talked to him during the Olympics, he's the most charismatic guy.
He is.
And he remembers your name instantly. So you're like, tell me anything you want to tell me. You're so charismatic.
But we're on the fence.
But Jenny is.
Or should I say the wall?
Jenny, I love Jenny. I've seen her work for years.
Jenny's great. She is great.
But I would just be thrilled to have anyone in power that would actually be able to do anything useful and sane. And the thing that I'm happy about is either one of these candidates, I would be totally happy with them winning. That's the one nice thing.
Mitt Romney said, as you mentioned, he's not for the wall. He's more like a short hedge, like a pyracantha with prickly needles on it, something like that.
Kind of the little orange berries that always fall and you squish them.
Mid-chest high, about something like that, prickly to get over. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Arizona, Erin, you are going to love this. Not that you have
This has finally redeemed my faith in mankind.
Not that you have not vented enough this morning.
I don't have to. They are doing it for me. Go on.
At 7:13 on President's Day in 2018. Arizona lawmakers. Now, there is a huge conflict there. They want to spend $177,000 for signs.
These are freeway signs?
What kind of signs? Yeah, so this is a freeway. So $177,000. I mean, if you think about the signs, like just in Salt Lake City, think about State Street. In every block, there's another State Street sign, all the way down till it disappears. That's a lot of signage.
That's huge signage.
But that's only this big. That's about a loaf of bread kind of thing. These are for highway signs, so they're going to be even bigger. And 177. What do people need to be reminded of in the state of Arizona that they want to spend?
I've lived in Arizona, and probably most of that is don't steer with your knees while you check your phone. But that's too long for a sign. So.
Also, another $18,000 to maintain those signs. I had no idea signs needed to be maintained.
They need to be petted and coddled.
I guess.
So what do they want the signs for?
They will need the signs to say, "Don't drive slow in the left-hand lane." Except for passing, Erin is moving to Arizona.
No, I'm now stinking of Zen. I'm so happy. That is so wonderful.
Is that what that is?
Would anyone listen to that? Because that is beautiful. I know that I will not lie. I don't think there's a single one of us who has not been in the passing lane with someone just driving like this. Like
saying, I have no control in my life, but I can control you and your speed you're driving.
Massive line behind them of people maybe getting to medical emergencies or picking their child up from school who's standing alone in the dark with wolves.
Going to meet their wife.
But he's driving super slow, so that's good.
Motel at noon.
That
happens a lot. So basically, they're going to do that. Now, the signs kind of qualify the fines, which they say is going to be like $150 or something like that.
Good.
But it is like, then the cop can, I didn't know that rule, you'll say. And then the sign, he'll point at it. That's what it's all about, and people might think twice about doing it.
Can we do that here?
We could. We should.
Come on, the state legislature. Oh, they've already put up the bill. We can't ask for more now. But that is so beautiful.
I think we do a write-ins ballot or something.
This is the coolest medical news I think that I've heard in a bazillion years.
You were
and right
telling
now,
me something about this.
Okay, we're in the middle of the aging population. I mean, everyone's kind of waiting for the baby boom, and it's like it's slamming into old age, and this is when all of the medical care and all of the expenses and everything start ratcheting up like crazy. And
If you're a urologist, it's like you are in business.
All you need for this profession is
This.
Okay, anyway, the important thing is this: one of the biggest trends that they've had that causes them enormous concern is the rapid increase of Alzheimer's. I mean, so much more so than the growth that they have seen in the past. And obviously, this has a lot to do with people's lifestyles.
My dad.
There's also a very, very powerful
What do
genetic
you mean
component.
lifestyles? What do you mean by that?
Well, you can also, if you have a genetic component, you can also exacerbate it by, like for instance, my dad was crazy about saturated fats and a lot of the foods and nutrition that they warn you about. And he exercised a lot, which mitigated part of it. But there's things that you do to exacerbate the problem.
Right.
And they're trying to educate people like...
There's some things you can do to
make
help.
it easier, yeah.
Okay.
So this is incredible. This is what they found. They found slowly reducing the levels of the enzyme BACE1 in mice that they either prevented or reversed the formation of amyloid plaques in the brain, which is the hallmark sign of Alzheimer's disease. This is formed when bits of protein clump together in the brain, and they're found in high amounts in Alzheimer's patients. And it's a protein that naturally forms in the brain and helps produce beta amyloid peptide, which is a protein that's involved with the brain plaque formation. So what they're saying, though, is if they could reduce the buildup of BACE1 in the brain, it trickles down, it would either slow down, halt, or even reverse the progression of Alzheimer's.
That's amazing because
reverse. I mean,
well, even to stop, because I mean, I remember when my dad was with us. I can think now of some points where it would have been great to stop it. And he's still functional, and then he would go downhill. But there were probably 3, maybe 4 places where he was self-aware. He could maintain himself as far as bathing and all that stuff, and there was these different points where if you could stop it, think about that.
The quality of life that you could have saved. The same thing with my father.
And for my mom, because you become the caretaker, and she's 80, and so it takes the whole family, and puts a responsibility, which you should, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, obviously, they've been running all the studies through mice right now, and another thing that they're finding now is that the second generation of the mice who had the inhibitor of the protein, their children are born with less of the protein in their brain, and as they traveled along and they were moving them towards the same sort of brain function symptom, that they said it took 3 times as long for the BACE1 to
babies
build
after
back
babies
up.
after babies.
Yeah, to build back up in the brain. So
Generations,
not only can they stop it and ideally reverse it in the current patient, they may be able to change the genetic components so that you're not getting the trigger as one of the descendants. I mean, that is incredible. Now they're saying, don't be hugely excited yet. They say that the research is groundbreaking. I mean, it's like everybody in the medical community is freaked out. They say, we got another 10 years. But the fact is, even if you think now, if you're going into that period where you're like...
Go experimental on me. If that was my case, it was like, bring it. And they're working on that right now with the FDA. They're saying, if people are definitely going to go into this, why not use those people as a study case? And why not, as a family, go, bring it, because I know where I'm going, and it's not good.
I think that's wonderful, though. So, yeah, it's 10, and that's 10 years is a long time, but... in the scheme of things, and you think about the fact that even now when you retire, when you're in your 60s, maybe your 70s, or in our case, in our 90s, you have decades upon decades of life left where you could either have value and joy, or you live in fear of this happening to you. So that is such good news. That makes me so happy.
I read a great story about researchers, and his dad had it. And they made breakthroughs. Not in time for his dad, is what he said.
But you know that his dad would be so proud of him.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Always Black Friday, where it is 30 to 75% off every day. They're on 12th Street in Ogden. You have to check them out. Also, by Denali Performance Medical Center. Now, the reason I love these guys, if you've got constant chronic migraines, they can save you. It can go away and without opioids. Make sure you check it out. And All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you want to make sure your furnace is working, this would be the time to call allutahplumbing.com. Good morning, my dear Daisy.
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Monday, February 19th on GebhardtDaily.com. A male teenager was seriously wounded after being shot inside a car in West Valley City Saturday night. Police say the teen and two others were inside a parked vehicle at 3900 South at 5600 West when another car pulled up and opened fire. The suspects sped off in what police describe as a dark-colored SUV-type vehicle. Anyone with information as to who the suspects are is asked to call West Valley City Police. A stabbing victim in Sugar House was rushed to hospital in critical condition Saturday after being found by the S-Line tracks near 700 East and 2200 South. Police were called to the crime scene about 4 p.m., where they found a man with multiple stab wounds to his arms and torso. Investigators viewed surveillance footage and say the attacker is a man in his 30s, wearing black coveralls and a black jacket. Anyone with info is asked to call Salt Lake Police. And a street race in downtown Salt Lake City ended in a violent crash across the street from Brigham Young's Beehive House early Saturday morning. The accident totaled one car and caused extensive damage to the famed Eagle Gate Monument at the corner of State and South Temple Street. Eyewitnesses told Gebhardt Daily 4 cars were headed north on State Street when the driver of a Mazda lost control of his car and smashed into the northeast support column for the Eagle Gate Monument. His car then came to rest on the staircase of the Eagle Gate Apartments. The male driver of the Mazda has to be extricated from his car. He was rushed to the University of Utah Hospital in extremely critical condition but has since stabilized. The police investigation into the street race is ongoing. And time now for your Wasatch Front forecast, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audio-visual specialists. If you're one of the folks who was yearning for snow, you've got your wish. The biggest storm of the year is poised to dump 10 inches in the northern valleys and up to 3 feet in the mountains over the next day or two. Daytime highs will hang in the 20s with overnight temps in the mid to low teens. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GebhardtDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. It is so nice to see you back. Okay, Todd, I think you need
Hang on. Hello? Hello?
What are you doing?
I'm holding up breakfast. That's what I'm doing.
I'm not eating those damn sardines.
Go ahead to the mountain
Okay,
cam.
you
if
did-
want. Hang on one sec. Go to the mountain cam, and I'm going to come over here. There you go. Take a look at that. That's awesome. All right, so... Okay, so sardines. Sardines are important because when Erin's sick, I'm not going to get within 50 feet of her. Well, this is the closest we've been. Because someone's got to be the last person standing. So I get to eat all my weird foods.
You
Yes.
tried to force feed me kippered herring while I was sick. It was in the Pneumonia Chronicles if anyone saw the videos last week.
Pickled herring, I think.
Whatever the heck it was.
In the white cream sauce. Yeah. But the problem is you burp that all day long. But now is the time to enjoy those things.
You know, I think you're like one of those
this is
people
how close we're going to ever get.
You must have been raised on like bar food or something. I mean, I really wonder. It's like
Like what?
how you like to pickle eggs and stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to make sauerkraut, by the way. I found out how. And in my freezer, I also have 3 cow tongues. Let me go on and tell you about All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They've got deals going on right now on furnace replacements along with your AC. If you want more information, just go to allutahplumbing.com. I got cow tongues, 3 of them, in a big bundle pack like this, and they were frozen, but they still look like tongues.
If I wake up and you're touching my face with one of those again, like you did 5 years ago, and then you started laughing, you don't want to know what's going to happen to you.
Do you know the movie Galaxy Quest? And then when Tim
Thank
Allen is laying on the ground and he's out cold and he wakes up and that snot rag, the monster lizard thing comes over and has that big tongue and just rakes it across his face and it's all sticky stuff. It's like that. I can't wait. I made them before. They're really good. Zoe loves them.
Can't believe you did that to our 18-month-old child.
She dug it.
We have that on video, by the way, if you want to go to Todd's Cooking Chronicles. It's Cooking with Todd and the Toddler. It's on our YouTube page. He actually teaches, he and Zoe will teach you how to cook cow tongue. Ooh. All right, let's go to Tell Me
Nice.
Something Good, which is a much happier situation. It's brought to you by Always Black Friday. It's 30 to 75% off every day, Ogden and 12th Street. This I get so much that I just almost want to cry. And there was a couple of times that Todd actually saved a woman who was going through this. But this came from a friend of mine who was sitting at the airport. She didn't tell me which flight, but apparently it was the standard meltdown network thing where the baby loses it, 18-month-old, and we've all had
She have another kid with her, too.
It's like a boneless chicken on the ground screaming. And this mom is young. She's very pregnant, obviously traveling alone with her toddler, and she's just overwhelmed. And she's embarrassed because you get embarrassed and you're looking around. And she couldn't pick him up because he was so upset, and she's pregnant and trying to carry everything, and he was kicking and screaming. So she put him down on the ground, and he went at it again. And this breaks my heart. She said she was so overwhelmed, she finally just sank down next to him and put her head in her hands. And it's like, who hasn't done that? And she said, instantly, literally 6 women stood up without any discussion or anything, and they all went over and they surrounded the woman kind of protectively, and one got a sippy cup out for the baby from the diaper bag, one gave a bottle of water to the mom, and I guess the mom spoke Spanish, and she was talking to her,
Right.
and patting her back, the thing we all do where we want to go, we've all been here so much, we get it, we're so sorry, I'm just glad it's not me, but I'm sorry. One of the kids my friend was playing Itsy Bitsy Spider with the baby. They found another toy in somebody's bag, and they were playing, and so it took like 25 minutes, and people apparently just walked all around them, crowd split, went around them, and they all just stayed in this little circle around the mom.
Nice.
Finally got the little dude calmed down, helped her get the little guy boarded, and it was really weird. And she said then once she was boarded, we all looked at each other and we all just went back and just kind of sat down again where we were and started reading or doing whatever we were doing. But she said it occurred to me that just with a quick circle of women we could change the world.
See, if it was guys, they'd
think
all
it's
walk
gorgeous.
over to you and they'd go, "Buck up." That's a great story.
I think that was beautiful.
Wow.
It's just we've all been there, every one of
kidding.
us.
All right,
So
so on
it's-
Friday we gave the winner out for Christopher's, and basically Christopher's. The food. We're just doing this to say thank you for watching.
Wouldn't that be wonderful to have dinner at Christopher's tonight?
Or now,
Lobster corn dogs.
or now at 7:27 on
Lobster corn
President's
dogs.
Day.
I could wait for that.
Well, anyway, all you have to do is to take 3 of your friends and go there. On us is to.
Well, all you have to do is just make a comment on the show today. Maybe you're watching on our Facebook page for Get Part Daily or Get Part Approved. Just say hi, anything you want. If you're in the conversation and the community here on the Todd and Erin page, just check in, say hi. We know you're there. At the end of the week, we pick a name and you get dinner for 4. It's embarrassingly simple because mentally, so are we.
Wouldn't it be great to be your own boss? Be your own boss, and then give yourself a raise. How easy would that be?
That
So-
amazes me.
Someone in Sandy tried it. It didn't work out so well. We'll tell you what, coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and get a reliable automobile by giving them a call. 801-404-7201. And also by Columbus Travel with spectacular deals on cruises and all-inclusive vacations. Go to ColumbusVacations.com. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where they have a winter special that they can check out your furnace and make sure that it's operating efficiently, saving you hundreds of dollars in energy bills. Just go to allutahplumbing.com. Did you know that you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and GetPartDaily.com any time of the day or night?
At Always Black Friday, we love a good deal. We buy new and used products at a discount so we can pass on the savings to you. And we're Get Part approved. From electronics to clothing to appliances. If you want it, we have it at discount prices. Visit our eBay store or come to our warehouse at 865 West 12th Street in Ogden. Always Black Friday, where you can find Black Friday deals all year round.
Happy Black Friday!
I love this music. Richard, this is a great musical choice.
We should just play that the rest of the show.
Be even more entertaining, that's true. Okay, explain this one because this is awkward.
You're your own boss, and one morning you wake up and you go, "By golly, it's time for a raise." The problem is you're a public servant, and you're the new Sandy mayor, Kurt
Bradburn.
Bradburn. Now
Now, he
the
ousted
new-
Mayor Tom Dolan, who's been in for 11 years or something.
Well, when he
ish.
got the mayorish job, mayorism, he was a mayor. He said, "You know what? I'm just not getting paid enough." So he gave himself a raise from $147,000 to $162,000 a year. But he wasn't done there. He said, you know what? I'm going to give raises to my staff too, which he did. So it's like one of the kind of the big first things he did.
So you bring in all your buddies, you get your staff going, and then you give them all a nice raise.
And then I suddenly realized that maybe his constituents weren't that happy with him in the city of San Diego, and other things are getting cut. Here's a couple things that people said.
Yeah, there was a certain level of fury from
Here, read that
social
quote
media.
Here.
I know. And after really, as a matter of fact, obstreperous social media. And
Obstreperous.
and started posting on Facebook under his page and under Twitter and such. Then some of the local media got a hold and said, hey, Mayor Bradburn, it looks like everyone's kind of ticked off. And then he said, he's been working on the job, by the way, less than 2 months. Less than 2 months.
I want a raise.
Now, so it's pretty funny though. One of the things that was entertaining is that one of his campaign pledges was fiscal responsibility, and not wasting money and not overspending insanity.
Oh, that was his platform?
Isn't that cute? So in any case, he actually did manage to apologize, and he did it in the most delightfully self-serving way, which is what you expect. He said, as a showing of good faith, I'm going to cut my salary to below the lowest of the mayors of the big 5 cities in Utah. No, it just goes back to where Mayor Tom Dolan had it, and return the excess I have received so far. But you know, to his credit, he said, I told you I would do things wrong, and he says, and I'll make mistakes.
Wow, right out of the gate though, we didn't see that coming. As a you did it for yourself, not the city. So you did something wrong, but it did in your favor. See, that's different. Saying I'm going to do something wrong is like making square sewer lids, right? And that's wrong. Or putting stop signs with the signs at the bottom near the dirt. Okay, that would be a mistake. Giving yourself money is not a mistake. It's being an idiot, Kurt. I hope you learned something. I hope you use this as learning. And the stop signs do on top of the post. Okay.
Learning experiences. Ooh, look at you, Mr. Rant Face. Ranty McRant Face, and you're claiming that I'm the ranter?
It is. It's the snow at 7:32 on President's Day. Because you're all watching
this it some other time,
on demand. And so, but this is what it looks like outside right now. First storm of the century. Many will be harmed. That's what they've been telling us on the news because they're all
Stay home.
All right.
The snow wants to kill you.
The legislature passed a bill.
This is the saddest possible thing I think that I have ever seen.
What is it?
Utah legislature just passed a bill that will allow school districts to install barricade locks on classroom doors. Now, this is something that's been prohibited here in the state and most other states in the nation because of fire hazards.
Right.
That if there is a fire that breaks out and the possibility of locked doors and students not being able to escape was very serious.
Right.
This was also passed on the day of the shooting massacre down in Florida.
And so they talked about the fact that they're going to be able to lock down school, or is this the exterior doors? Do we know?
It's indoor classrooms.
Okay.
It's barricade locks for indoor classrooms. It's interesting because the only thing I find strange about this is they provided it as an option, but there's no funding provided for it, and there's no instruction for school districts. So it's basically, it almost feels like they're like standing back, like we're not taking responsibility, but here.
But we have to look good.
They passed it.
Let me back that up. No, it's not that you try to make yourself look good. This is obviously a serious problem, and obviously we all feel the same way.
But every time I talk to my 6-year-old, he tells me about how they had an intruder lockdown drill again. It just...
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
On the practical side of this, I don't know if you've seen this on Facebook. It's an invention someone came up with, and it's just one of them. And it's basically a bar that slips under the door, and then you expand it so it grabs both sides of the wall, and you pin it. And I know it's stupid, and I'm talking about mechanics here, but there are tons of different options, and it's 2018.
All right, let's move on to something happier. We're going to go back to Nerdville. Let's all come back in with me. Let's go to our happy space.
Now, first of all, Black Panther, 200 million?
214 million, fifth largest opening in North America. So that is really, really cool. They say that the global analysis over the holiday weekend is probably going to be somewhere closer to almost 350 million.
Wow.
So that's wonderful. And it hasn't even opened yet, like in China and Russia and stuff. So it's going to be good. Wow. I'm so proud of them. But this is something, especially if you're a nerd, like we have certain heated discussions about who's better, DC Comics or Marvel.
Not with me. No, we don't have that conversation. This is with her people.
But it's very, very funny. They actually did this huge breakdown state by state to see whose favorite was whose. Now, I'm disappointed to say that I'm in a DC Comics state. I'm disappointed in all of us here, all of us. There were...
Oh, by the way, can I say, it's a red and blue map.
The red is Marvel. DC Comics is blue. Kind of humbling. But it's pretty funny. As you can see, it's hard, we're hardcore here. But
Right.
The country goes Marvel. But here's the funny, just so you know, DC Comics is like Batman and Superman. They just put out Wonder Woman and Justice League. Marvel are the
Wonder
Avengers.
Woman is awesome, by the way.
It is wonderful. How can anyone not love Gal Gadot? Because she's about the most adorable creature ever. I watched the whole movie going, I am so in love with you. I absolutely love you.
I never understood the cuffs, but when she ricochets bullets, it works.
So that's DC Comics. Marvel is Thor, most important. The Avengers, Iron Man, new with Black Panther. And it's funny, then Captain America. Then they went into favorite characters. Who was your favorite comic book character? And this is statewide. Who do we love the most?
Who?
And it was pretty funny. They had some, Hawaii was the Flash. New Mexico, for some reason, was dead set on Spider-Man. Here in Utah, no surprise, Captain America.
Because why?
We're Captain America people.
Because
we
Americans?
We amass, here in Utah, we amass more of Captain America downloads and merchandise and comics and graphic novels and
That's
movies
awesome.
than anybody else.
That's awesome.
We're Captain America-ites. There you go, Chris Evans. We love you.
So I've been hearing rumors of this, and it started about 3 days after the shooting in Florida, and they were talking about demonstrations.
Yeah, I probably should have flipped those stories to
all
make
right.
this more logical.
It's all right.
It's interesting because a lot of the students down in Florida are actually talking now, and they're talking about the fact that you have totally let us down as adults. You let this happen.
Right.
And it's so easy to say you let this happen.
These are kids who were in the school.
This is a countrywide thing that at some point we've got to realize is a lot more complicated than just the guns. There's a pathology here with our men that you don't see in any other developed country, whether they have guns or not. You don't. And there's more and more studies on it now showing that there is something specific to Americans. And I'm not blaming men. It's like, if you look at the list roster of school shootings, it's men. I mean, and it's young men. There's a certain young white men. But there's some kind of pathology that simmers here that you don't see in other countries. So there's a lot of different questions, and they're saying that, and they're saying we need more education, but the teachers were the ones that were pointing this out. They said it's going to be more than gun control. It's more than this and more than that, but you have to do something. So they're doing a national school walkout on March 14th, and literally the teachers are walking out of school, and they're saying you're going to have to figure this out, and it's a complex problem, but we're not going to stand here and let you keep this happening to our kids. And you think about how many adults are lost in these shootings because they throw their bodies.
Here's the thing, because I know what the backlash is going to be on this, because we've seen this before in Utah when the teachers went on strike because they weren't getting paid, and they don't get paid diddly, by the way. Is the fact that they're giving you a heads up so you know what to do with your kids. It's going to be uncomfortable. You don't know who's going to take care of them. So you got to make that arrangement and have whoever your babysitters are, your family member or whatever come.
But they're giving you like
watch the
months
kids.
advance
they're
notice.
giving you advance notice because this is important for them to do, and a lot of people say this is an inconvenience, except for you have to remember they're doing something for you.
Yeah, they're the ones who stood between your child and a bullet. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Okay,
All right.
we're going to come back in a minute and things will be so much happier. We're going to tell you about Kate Middleton and why apparently everyone in England is totally pissed off at her. And she's the nicest lady.
We should ask Daisy about this.
Maybe we should bring Daisy.
All right.
It's true. Coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, Stuff that's come up in the last couple years, 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope, 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
Whatever. Whose
All right,
friggin'
it's brought to you
chair?
by-
Whose friggin' chair is this?
Patrick, our news directors.
This is ridiculous. Hey, by the way, the connection is being brought to you by Connect Heating and Air.
Hollywood Connection is brought to you by Connect Heating and Air.
already
They
said
can
that.
set up a schedule for you, and they can handle all of your commercial properties, so you don't even have to worry about them. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com.
Whose chair is this?
So funny.
Hey, back here. Hey, what's going on? I just keep going back. There's my foot.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
I can't take this chaos, my God.
A little different than the newsroom, right? All right, so
So I was noodling around on Twitter, and they had the BAFTAs, which are the British actor and film.
Yeah, it's the British Academy of Film and Television Awards. My dad was watching when I called him yesterday.
Okay, cool. So that's kind of like this big squoosh of the Golden Globes and the Oscars for Britain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they wanted women to be, actually just attendees to wear black again to support the Time's Up movement, to represent it the same way they did with the Golden Globes. And apparently, Kate Middleton, the lovely wife of the guy who's going to be in charge soon, pissed everybody off, and I'm unclear on what she did that was so wrong. She looked adorable.
please tell us, British person.
Yes, here's the thing, right? So I certainly am not mad with her in any way, and I'm not sure, in fact, whether British people are mad with her, because here's the thing. The royal family, what she did was, so everyone had to wear black, and so the big question was, will Kate wear black?
Right.
Because she and Prince William do the red carpet, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think he's the president of the BAFTAs.
Oh, is he?
And she
Okay.
wore dark green. And the day before the ceremony, Jay and I were talking about it, and I said she'll wear navy or dark green.
Why'd you say dark green?
Exactly what I said.
Why'd you say dark
The dress
green?
is so dark green,
Because-
it's almost black, yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. The royal family is apolitical.
Oh.
They are not, they do not make political statements.
So they play the line right down the
Interesting.
If you watch The Crown, there's a part where she becomes queen in like 1952, and I think one of the members of her family says to her, like, the hardest thing that you'll ever have to do is say nothing,
Oh, interesting.
because they don't comment on politics.
This is like at Thanksgiving when you're sitting in your Uncle Fred's across the way and he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't comment. Don't.
So it's like, for my prediction was dead right, that she gave a nod to the Me Too movement.
Because it's the darkest green you
Right,
could get, right?
right.
But staying
So
neutral.
she didn't wear red. She didn't wear
Right,
shocking
right.
I'm
pink.
completely blowing this off.
But at the same time, she didn't then make a political statement on the side of, because the royal family, they just don't do that.
Well, it
Yeah.
actually makes sort of logical sense to me, other than like maybe if Britain's under attack where they could make a political statement saying, that's very bad of this country, but if you were supposed to be representing your entire country, then you're required to represent all interests, or at least oversee everything, right?
Yeah. So to me, she was being respectful and giving a nod to the fact that people were wearing a dark color without seeming to make an overt political statement.
I'm going to sit back and
That's
think
cool.
about that. Okay, yeah, that makes
But
sense.
so where does it say that everyone in Britain is pissed with
Well,
her?
no, they kept, in the Twitter moments, they kept showing all of these different really pissed off comments from like British press, and then they had like some from some of the celebrities going, can't believe she wouldn't back us, and then some from just, I guess, British people because I didn't recognize the names, but I'm like, this is like, and the sentiment was like 80% like you were a very bad person for wearing dark green. It's like she's 8 months pregnant. Give her a break. No. But I did wonder if that was, so that's not really a national sentiment. They're just blowing it out of proportion.
I would. This might be a bit controversial, but I would go so far as to say that possibly the people that were saying that don't know the role of the royal family.
Which you think the British press would probably be required.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be helpful in your career.
Wankers.
But, here is one other facet before, you go on to your next thing. But one other facet to this is the British press does love to attack people.
Right.
They're even more brutal than the press here.
Is that possible?
Yeah, they're awful, and they'll like rip someone to pieces. They in a way like they did with Fergie. Do you remember?
That poor woman.
Prince Andrew's wife. But so they, just like with Meghan Markle, if there's a chink in the armor, they'll find a way to go, hey, you didn't wear black, just because they like to be mean.
I have a question.
It's very disappointing.
And I know that you are into fashion, and I know you follow stuff like that.
Yeah.
But did you actually have a conversation with your sister about what she was going to wear? You said you were talking.
I think it was her dad, wasn't it?
No, it was your sister. You were talking about sister about what you thought she was going to wear.
Oh no, I was talking to Jay. Do you mean that? Did I think?
Is it common for you to follow the royal family in the way that the country? Do they talk a lot about that as far as what they're doing, where they're standing, who they're holding, and all that?
Yeah, and then there's a whole thing with Meghan Markle right now about she's totally revolutionizing royal wear.
She's a rock star
because she wears pants.
Right.
She's so adorable.
Yeah. So no, but there's like the weirdest protocols. Like when Harry and Meghan got engaged,
right.
she wore bare legs instead of wearing tights,
right.
And everyone was like, she didn't wear tights, because she's. I mean, that was a big thing.
Right.
She wore a sleeveless dress
and
in the interview,
and she showed her bare.
But Michelle Obama got that too, but she has guns.
Showing her arms.
If I could have Michelle Obama's arms, I would die happy.
Or Meghan Markle's,
right? I know.
But in a way, Meghan Markle is much more of a style rebel than Kate has ever been. Kate toes the line. If you see the way that she dresses,
I think as long as you don't carry a handbag, you're pretty much cutting
big
edge.
Handbags.
Yeah.
That's funny though. But you're right, because watching The Crown, is that Netflix or HBO? I'm trying to remember now.
Netflix.
You're right that part of it. You look at part of what they're bound by, and you're like, this holds no logical sense. But when you talk about it, I see now why you're like there was a segment where they were talking about, okay, you're supposed to go to this new opening of this plant and you're supposed to compliment it, but not to the point that would look like the Belgians, who I guess make the same thing, would be insulted that you were complimenting the Brit. It's like, seriously?
Yeah.
And that's how uptight you have to be.
Yeah.
Off with their heads. Mm-hmm. You have the power. Yeah. And start using it.
And lots of people think that the royal family is totally archaic.
Right.
My mum hates the royal family. My dad loves the royal family, and I love them.
Well, your dad is also a knight, so he has very good reasons. Your dad is a sir. Of course, I like the royal family just because of that.
How did that happen? Because he's Sir Daisy's father.
Yeah, Sir Daisy's dad. He people are just given. First of all, they're given either the MBE, OBE, CBE,
right.
and those are different levels. One of them's here, one of them's here, one of them's here, and he got the top one, which was a CBE, and he got a medal, and then
did he get the sword thing?
Yeah.
Get out, really?
Who did it?
And Prince Charles did it, and Dad did the wrong thing, and he almost cut his head off.
Nice.
Because they tell you what to do, and then Dad
don't move.
Because he's like, I'm going to do this shoulder, and I think Dad did a little wiggle of his head. Or something.
Prince Charles.
But
wow.
So every year in April is the Queen's birthday, and then she announces who she's going to knight.
Was there hints coming up to your dad, hey, it looks like you're in the running this year? Is it like the Oscar nominations, or is it come out of the blue?
No, I think it came out of the blue. And then, so she knights, people in different fields. She would knight as some singer, as an artist.
And your dad is an artist, okay.
Yeah, and he got it in 2002, I think.
Are there benefits that come with this? Not like discount movie tickets, although that would be awesome. But are there other things do you get a better like table reservations? Like, I'm Sir so and so.
Well, no, I don't.
It would be awesome.
Really.
You should, right?
So and so would like to come to dinner tonight.
Get a horse.
The thing that is cute is that when you address someone that's a sir, you don't say Sir Blake, you say Sir Peter, and it's cute because
Really? You do it
people,
by the first name?
Yeah, people will come up to him and say hi, Sir Peter, and it's so cute. And he would never go. If someone came up to him and just said
Peter,
hi Peter, he would never say, oh, it's I'm Sir.
Sir.
Never. But it's cute when people say Sir Peter because it's such a cute little name.
I love the fact that they
And
do the first name though. That's so funny. I love that. Now here in America, you get a high five, and in Britain, you get to be a sir.
That is so cool.
Isn't it funny?
You guys do so many cool things. I'm really jealous. Really, sometimes you get a high five. Sometimes you might get a discount.
Yeah, they get a sword. They get
know.
a sword
Yeah.
on the shoulders. I want to meet him when he comes here. Does he ever come here?
He has a little bit of difficulty flying now
Does
because
he?
he's a little bit older,
Right.
so he has problems getting on.
I'll talk to him on the phone because I've never
But,
talked to a knight.
But when I go to England this year,
Yes, we have.
you guys should FaceTime.
Okay. I
We've
think
talked
so.
to Elton John, and we've talked to Paul McCartney. We've talked to a
Yeah.
lot of stars.
Oh, sorry. We have a plethora.
But we haven't
So
talked
this-
to an artist, sir, named
And someone
Peter.
that we love. It's Dad.
It's so cool.
It's Daisy.
All right, thank you for explaining that because
totally.
it makes sense when you say it. At the time, I'm like, why? But
so
now
handy
I get
having
it.
you here.
You have your nice chair, and I'll
All
take
right.
the weird chair.
Thank
You
you.
gave Daisy the bad chair.
No, I gave her
That's
the
very
good chair. That's why I was
gentlemanly.
falling back over there. Oh my gosh.
Whatever. All right, this is really, really actually kind of sweet, and I'm a little surprised
This
by
is like
this.
more Hollywood stuff, isn't it?
Well, it's like brother and sister. It's like I think of my brothers, and I love them both dearly, but
Yeah.
it's not like I would expect anything like this. Cindy Crawford's two kids are obviously getting older. It's really nice.
Oh, by
Presley
the
Berger
way,
is 18.
you call her Cindy Crawford. I call her the Princess of Darkness because she evidently signed a deal with Satan because she does not age. And I don't know what the secret is to her, but I mean, even if I lay on my back where everything gets drawn back a little bit, I know it's not even close.
She is unnaturally beautiful. She really is. But so Presley's 18, and his sister is Kaya. She's 16. I thought this was really, really, really sweet. If you want to show up the picture, he pulled up his shirt to show his very first tattoo, and I guess he was very, very excited about it.
What's it say?
And it's her name. He got
Cindy
a
Crawford.
no Kaya, his little sister.
Oh, that one.
He got a tattoo of his sister, and the numeral 23, which I guess in their family
Is.
indicates that we're going to be together forever. That family is always together.
Okay.
Which I thought was really, really sweet. How many 18-year-old boys do you know get their 16-year-old sister's name tattooed on them?
How many 18-year-old boys do you know that got a tattoo and didn't get yelled at because they couldn't because it's his sister's name?
I know, right? What is Cindy going to say? You
are ground.
no, that's
No,
sweet.
you're sweet.
It was just kind of sweet. I liked it. I thought it was very tender.
All right, coming up later today, this morning, by the way, hope you're weathering the storm. If you're watching on President's Day, what time is it? At
7:52.
7:52. Sorry about all the snow. Coming up, though, we have some information. Girl Scout cookies have finally figured it out. And you know what? There's going to be no Thin Mints left for you.
It's the circle of life.
But right now, information.
All right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. Brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. With all the recent weirdness with the stock market and questions about interest rates, you really do need to go online. In 4 minutes, they can spit out a bunch of options, and they'll call you back within the next business day. That's Fink-McGregor. Also, by the Vein Clinic. If you want to go to the Riverton location, which is my perfect one, go to theveinclinic.com, schedule an appointment. They got rid of my varicose veins, and I saw the results within 2 days, and it was without pain. You'll never see anything that good again. Also, by Brio Technologies. They're your experts in lighting, sound, and visual. Just go to brioaudiovisual.com for more information. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world news headlines on Monday, February 19th on Gephardt Daily. Another shoe has dropped in Robert Mueller's Russiagate investigation. Former Trump campaign aide Rick Gates has agreed to testify against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort after pleading guilty to fraud-related charges in federal court. Gates has been in plea negotiations with special counsel Robert Mueller's team for a month. Gates can expect a substantial reduction in his sentence to about 18 months in prison if he cooperates with the investigation into Team Trump. All 66 people aboard an Iranian passenger flight are presumed dead after the plane crashed into a 14,000-foot peak southwest of Tehran Sunday. Investigators say the plane went down in rough weather about 50 minutes after taking off from Tehran. The flight was headed to the city of Yasuji in southern Iran when it disappeared from the radar. And 23 people were kicked off a Carnival cruise ship Friday in what's been called the cruise from hell. According to police in Australia, the trouble began when members of an unruly family being held on board the boat began to fight with other passengers. Several brawls broke out over the course of several days until a final brawl left the violent vacationers punching and screaming at each other. The decision was made to return to port, and the family was turned over to the authorities, where they may face assault charges. Carnival gave passengers a 25% discount to try and make up for the nightmare cruise. And now time for another look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. With less than a month to go before the official start of spring, Mother Nature has decided to take a major dump on Utah. Expect heavy snow totals between 5 and 10 inches in the valleys and up to 3 feet in the mountains over the next 2 days. Temps will be bitter cold with highs in the 20s and nighttime lows in the mid to low teens. The sun is expected to reappear sometime on Wednesday. That's it for now. For more news from across the nation and around the world, go to GetBackDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Daisy. We are so happy to see you. Okay, I'm going to just go off course here for a minute because I just thought this was really interesting. Facebook.
Yeah.
Now, you know, part of the big Russia probe that Daisy was just talking about is going through, they've done a lot of hearings about social media, in particular Facebook and Google, questioning how much of a role they've actually played by accepting money funneled from Russia in order to create a lot of the false stories and the false controversy. Facebook has been very interesting in the last couple of weeks, trying to reintegrate what they want to do and understand what they want to fix. But this was really interesting. They're relying on centuries-old technology to prevent foreign meddling. Okay, this is really interesting. What they're going to do, the company is going to send postcards to potential buyers of political ads to confirm that they actually reside here in the United States.
Wait.
So if you want to place a politically based ad, and that may not even be for a specific candidate or party, it may just be that is politically oriented, what they're going to require you to do is they will mail you a postcard. You have to sign the postcard and input the code, and then mail the postcard back before they will post the ad.
I don't understand, dude. So let's say I'm a Russian, right? And I'm living in Lehigh. Okay, Russian in Lehigh. And I say, I'm going to run this thing, and it's going to say that woodchucks should be able to drive. And I make a website, and I make a commercial, and then they send me a postcard to Lehigh.
Yeah, but
I sign it and I send it back, and next thing you know, groundhogs can drive.
No, but see, this is the point. There were literally hundreds of thousands of ads that came out of Russia from the Russian hackers. They weren't here in the United States. They didn't reside here. That's the point of this, is that you can place all of this stuff anonymously and digitally from any other country in the rest of the world. So they're slowing the process down dramatically.
All right, I see.
In both ways, by number one, trying to make sure that they can actually ascertain you live here. So I mean that's
this is like the robot thing when you go on a website and you have to identify which one is different, and there's a tree, and a woodchuck.
And a woodchuck. Don't pick the woodchuck. So I thought that was really interesting. Just because they said, wow, I can't even believe. They said that all of the false Russian ads may have been seen by as many as 150 million users. So for that kind of comprehensiveness, I guess you go old, you go new, you do anything you can just to make sure that you can get something done. So I thought it was interesting. Moving on, Senator Orrin Hatch, this was a nice thing to see.
I just want to say that I would help you with this story. Go ahead and pull it up.
Okay.
Except for if you go to the iPad.
Why does this happen to you? Why do you always get this in the middle of the show?
This is going to take a while.
Why does this happen to you?
I don't know.
He has the most savage updates.
All right, I'm disconnected. I'll show you in a second. All right, so go ahead and talk.
Let's just go on. Now, one of the biggest, the latest series of abuse issues, of course, that caused another termination at the White House was Rob Porter, who was extremely close to President Trump in terms of the hierarchy. His ex-wives had accused him of spousal abuse Very, very serious. There was fairly comprehensive evidence. There really weren't a lot of questions about that. Senator Orrin Hatch, however, had put out a very angry comment when he was first released from the White House and forced to resign. He said then that he was heartbroken by the allegations, described his interactions with Porter as professional and respectful. And he had worked as the chief of staff for Senator Orrin Hatch for many years. However, once he realized and he had gone through all the information and he had found out about the women and the allegations, he sent both letters of apology to both women. One of the wives did talk about it, ex-wives. She said, I don't want to share the letter, but said Hatch explained he was unaware of the nature of the article and what was intended, and he thought that it was simply a political attack. He said, once I understood what had happened, I wanted to tell you how sorry I was, and that I apologized that I might have caused you grief. So I think that was a really good thing
and
to
I
do.
gotta tell you, information flies around so fast. And I'll give him credit for this. It flies around so fast that it would be so easy, his aides, as he's walking through, go, okay, so here's the situation, blah, 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 blah.
That's what surprised me, because it's like that, when the story broke, that was why. I mean, that's why he resigned. It was all there in one package. So I'm a little confused how he didn't know that part.
I was always amazed when you see someone step up to the microphone, and I'm amazed they used the clip, but they said, I don't know enough to make a comment about that. And how often you see that? Never.
And I really, really would like to see that more. I will give you time to read up on it. I will. Okay, life is different in Colorado. We're just going to say.
This is true.
Lifestyle changes.
This is what I'm waiting on, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And this has been going on for about 45 minutes.
And it just pops. I mean, you can't even block it every time we've tried.
I tried to stop it. And now they're going to update my Windows 10, which I hate. By the way, are you in the boat with me? I hate Windows 10. Windows 7 is my baby. This is going to go on forever.
Yeah, you're pretty screwed.
Okay, so
sorry.
So I want to talk about marketing. There's ways to market certain things, and we're going to close with this, by the way.
Okay.
When you market something, you want to find the source. You want to get the people right where they live. If there's a parade and it's 100 degrees, you got a wagon of water, you're on the money.
You're the guy with snow cones. You're the snow cone master.
You're on the money. So Girl Scout cookies, I know, we know people who still, from last year, have Thin Mints hidden inside broccoli boxes.
This means you, Karen.
In the back of their freezers. Okay, and if you've ever been in a Girl Scout deal, you know what happens to your garage and how it gets filled up with cookies. Samoas, don't even talk to me.
I've never liked the Thin Mints. I might be the only one.
I like the Samoas.
I've always been the Samoas girl, yeah.
Oh my God. So here's the deal. One lady had a smart idea, and this is in Colorado.
She's thinking she's a marketer.
Her mom and her decided they were going to make a killing. And so what they did is they set up the cookie stand. They got permission right outside one of the marijuana distributing huts, stores.
The cannabis distribution stores, yeah.
Sold out in an hour. Because people had the forethought to say, I'm going to be hungry later. And I'm going to buy all of them.
So the Girl Scout troop contacted the next Girl Scout troop and said, no, you might want to check that. And so they've given permission. This is a Denver-based thing where the city said you're allowed to do that.
Well, the Girl Scouts came out and they said, no, you can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, like everyone was going to horse camp this year. Why? Why did you say no?
That counts. Everybody's going to horse camp.
That's always the big thing. It's like, go to horse camp. I can sell enough boxes to go to horse camp.
So
they really said no.
Is that what they do here? They go to the horse camp?
Yeah, you sell the most boxes, you go to horse camp, man.
They don't like horses.
Who cares?
Okay.
You're going to horse camp. Everybody likes horses.
So anyway, they finally said, right, they go, we're shooting ourselves in the foot here. Why not? And so now they can sell outside of liquor stores, any adult business.
Oh, I'm not sure that.
Every adult business. That would be weird.
I'm not even sure liquor stores will come. Well,
they nailed it with a cannabis store. I mean, seriously. And all you'd have to do is, hang on.
They sold out in an hour.
Yeah, all you'd have to do is hold up a box and go like this. You're going to need these later.
You know you want it.
We take debit cards.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, you guys, thanks so much. If it is President's Day at 8:04, and the snow is coming down in Salt Lake City.
Stay in your house. Don't leave.
I hope you have some sardines. And so anyway, you guys, should we end the show with a mountain cam or a mix between that?
Yours isn't that compelling. I'd go to the mountain
Mine
cam.
is way compelling.
Go to the mountain cam.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GetPartDaily.com. Zero complete.
After 45 minutes.
I have zero completion.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Fine.
Liar. She's sick.
Better.
Liar. She's sick. This is what people are going to tell you every time you say, Erin, how you feeling?
I'm better.
What'd you do all last night?
Cough uncontrollably.
Yeah. How was that?
It was nighttime.
Does that make you feel better? No. You need defense. And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. You ready? Okay. Erin is the diseased person. What she is. Diseased people will sometimes in public actually try to touch you. And when they do this, you need to be prepared. That's why I'm here. Thanks for asking. All right, first of all, let's go for the hugger, okay? The person who's actually going to try to hug you even though they're sick. Erin, you stand over here like that. You approach me with your arms out like you're going to hug me.
Hi,
nice job. Oh, wait. See that? There. Spray your hands. Easy, right? Okay. Let's try it again with the big hug that you're coming in. You know, the angle huggers like this. They're coming in. Go ahead.
Hi, Big Erin.
High five. Nice job.
I just looked
Good
at
job.
my
Oh, and
elbow.
spray your hands. See how that works?
Elbow.
All right. I am so far safe.
Instead of using the glass cleaner, why don't you at least use the hand sanitizer?
Because it doesn't spray and it doesn't have ammonia in it.
All
All right.
right.
So now the person comes over, puts the hands around you and going to hug you and say hi. Go ahead and do it.
Hi, Ann. How are
Nice.
you?
Twist, come around, and then take the elbow and then get it up like that. All right. And then push away. Spray the hands. A lot of you might think this is a little bit too drastic. Let me show you drastic, shall I? Okay, so you are over here.
You need to hurt more.
You are going to approach me. All right, so slow motion, approaching me like you're going to hug me. Go.
Oh, my.
Don't think so, lady. Turn around and go. And spray the hands. All right, one more. Let's
No,
say,
I don't really want to do anymore.
let's say you don't have a plastic bag, okay? This is the ultimate.
You may not have a white berry soon either.
You got to be prepared. You might need to do this. All right? This is the most close contact you're going to come with a sick person. Slow motion, one more time. This way you can review this, okay? Slow motion, coming and hugging.
Oh, honey.
Stop right there, okay? Now bring her around, find an opening, and push her out of the room. Just like that. And, of course, followed up by spraying the hands. You're welcome.